Namaskar. I hope you're all able to hear me. A very strong message from the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to the illegals that are staying in the United States. Before I analyze her statement, I want you to first watch this quick video, just 1 minute long, and then you get the import of what she's trying to say, and I'll expand on the implications of this. Here we go. First, please like this video.
Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Thank you, President Donald J. Trump, for securing our border and putting America first. Let me deliver a message from President Trump to the world. If you are considering entering America illegally, don't even think about it. Let me be clear. If you come to our country and you break our laws, we will hunt you down. Criminals are not welcome in the United States. For too long, weak leadership has left our borders wide open, flooding our communities with drugs, human trafficking, and violent criminals. Well, those days are over. Under President Trump, we are defending American families and restoring their safety. If you try to enter illegally, you will be caught, you will be removed, and you will never return. Follow the law, and you'll find opportunity. If you break it, you'll find consequences. Strong borders mean a stronger America. President Trump is making America safe again.
All right, so what she said are two things there. First is that if you are illegal in the United States, and if you don't leave now, but if you are deported, then you will never be able to enter the United States again. And I'm assuming that this applies to all those people who are being sent out on plane loads. I think they will not be able to get back into the US. So some of you can say, well, they can always change their name slightly, drop a syllable here or something like that, create a new passport, and they should be able to get in. The countries have now stopped relying on passports. They have all your biometrics, so they can catch you. It doesn't matter. In fact, even United States, you don't need to go to United States. Any airport will be able to catch you based on your biometric. These days, quite a bit of technology is being used for immigration and immigration. So I think that is out of the window. So the takeaway she's saying is, before you get caught, it's in your best interest to leave for the border and go back to your country. Now, the problem here is, if you leave United States and go to Mexico, what did you do? You burnt all your papers. What identity do you have? Nothing. Which country's citizen are you? You can't prove a thing. How are you going to get back? That's your problem. So all these things are coming up. Will the illegals wait and try and chance their luck and see if this thing rides out, and maybe out of blue, a Democrat will come in, come in as the president in 4 years' time, and then their things might be again back to normal? I don't think so, because the way the Trump administration is going about doing this, they're going to put enough safety lock so that this can never be repeated again, whether it is the Treasury Department or the corruption or the amount of money that has been floating around like there is no tomorrow. People may say, well, I don't see a lot of people leaving the United States for its borders. Why is that? Well, the thing is, they have been on a payroll sort of thing, and that probably that money hasn't completely run out, and maybe they are still trying to see if they can hide somewhere. For example, I had told you 2 months ago or a month ago, no, I think it was less than a month ago, about how about 200,000 illegals were bussed from New York to the Canadian border. There's a ditch. You just cross the ditch and go to the other side. You are in Canada, where Canadian NGOs were all too willing to pick you up. Basically, this is like they are trying to push them there, keep them there until conditions improve. Well, what has happened since then is the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, means business. She has already put Chicago in its place. Then now she has sued the New York Governor, Kathy Hochul, as well as the I think the Attorney General of New York State, and many other people. Plus, she has also warned all sanctuary cities such as San Francisco, Portland, Seattle. I think these are sanctuary cities, and there may be more sanctuary cities. You can look for one under every Democratic run state. See, they don't seem to have their own regard for their own laws. I don't know how these people were able to sleep at night. Be that as it may. So this is going to be a huge crunch in 2 weeks' time, 4 weeks' time. And if they really are serious about getting back home, they need to start moving with the meager savings they have now. Not going to heed the word, then you'll have to wait. But what happens until you are picked up? You will be running out of food. If you have a family, what are you going to do? Who's going to come to your help? In fact, I saw a video in North Carolina. 3 illegals from India were being picked up by the ICE officials, and a lady was trying to shout at them, do you have the proper paperwork, this, that. They couldn't care less. They just ignored her, put them, bundled them into the van and drove off. See, once they have proof that you are doing this, much of this is documented, guys. Please don't misunderstand me. Many of the people who came in, they got themselves fingerprinted and documented. You know why? Otherwise, you would not get your monthly dole. So in order to get that, see, you want to have the cake and eat it too. That doesn't work that way. With DOJ under Elon Musk, they are using the computers to the fullest extent, and they are able to crack down on a lot of these things. Now, if sanctuary cities don't get the funding, then what is going to happen? I've heard rumors that California requires $9.5 billion to tide over the amount of money they have spent on illegals. I don't think the Trump administration is in any mood to humor them. Do whatever you want. So what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing long caravans headed towards the border. And in Mexico, what they are going to do, what are the NGOs going to do, I don't know. But we are in for interesting times. And this could be also a way for the Trump administration to reduce costs. After all, if they put somebody on a plane, that cost, it cost the it cost the Trump administration a fair amount of money. They may not want to do that. They're just telling you, if you know what is good for you, you will leave on your own. Because if you catch you and deport you, there's no way you can ever come back to United States. By the way, the borders are sealed now. No one is able to come in. This is like the border crossing is down to like single digits or even less than that. And it turns out that the Mexican Marines are not as well trained as perhaps the US troops. So now a crash program is being put in place to make sure that the Mexican Marines are well equipped to deal with the drug cartels. This is going to be a showdown of a big manner, because the suspicion is that these drug cartels have Chinese intelligence embedded in them, giving them a lot of information. After all, I told you, China has managed to infiltrate a lot of the computers in the United States, the latest one being the US Treasury. Much happening, and I'm going to give you a couple of episodes of Chinese-born or Chinese-aligned politicians who are being investigated in the United States at various levels, and one of them happens to be in USAID. That's going to air in about a few hours' time. Do watch that one. That will give you an idea of what is going on. That's all I have for now. Let me just take some questions that you have asked of me. First question is from Gamers Galore. Is there anything going on about Ranveer case that we do not know? Seeing governments, courts, and politicians take strict action against a kid who spoke nonsense seems like overreach. Gamers Galore, I think this particular show was devised. I think it's called Who Got the Latent instead of Talent. And it's sort of like a competition as to what outrageous thing one can say. I think it really offends many people's sensibilities. Not only that, whatever he said, it's not even new. Somebody else uttered the same thing, a lady talking to a 15-year-old boy or something like that. And he just basically vomited that out to disastrous consequences. My question is, this kid is also supposed to be friendly with 𝗏𝗏. And all these people have grown up as a gang in, I think in Delhi. I don't remember how they were before. But this man went through some sort of an image makeover, and suddenly he's talking dharmic stuff. But if you look at some of his interviews, right, the questions seem too basic. Maybe that is a way to try and lure the youth of India to understand what the person is talking about. I don't know. Some of you may have watched those videos. You can comment. But I think that what is happening is correct in terms of what he has tried to do. And see, this is a youth icon we are talking about. And what are the youth going to do? I tell you, even today, 18 to 25-year-old, they are still going gaga over the Khans, over Bollywood, over what is being shown there. And some of you guys are all, extolling the virtues of Telugu Tollywood. Come on now, have you seen the new movies that are coming up with some of the dance sequences? It is so, it's just disgusting. That's all I can say. Look, there is bad, there is good in every movie industry. And the bad, unfortunately, rules the roost. And Tamil is completely down in the dumps. Telugu is okay, some good, some not so good. Bollywood is, you know what it is, that's a fake narrative. With all that money now being dried up, I don't know what Bollywood is going to do, where they're going to go seek funds. Even China's funds have dried up. So we have to wait and see. So I hope I explained this to you. I think this is serious, and I think it will also deter others from doing the same thing. Gamers, again, what does P in PGurus stand for? Always curious. Well, something to indicate that it is pen. Instead of saying pen gurus, we thought we'll just shorten it and say PGurus. Last question from Anand Shivkumar. Mr. Sumit Peer indicated that UAE and Saudis have aligned themselves with China. I thought India had great relations with Arab states. What changed in your opinion? I don't think they have aligned themselves with China. These are all, I think, body language kind of things. I don't know. I'd certainly ask him for the proof on that one as to what makes him say that. But I'll tell you what happened today. Qatar has agreed to invest $10 billion in India. Now, we also know Qatar backs the radical Islamists also. They have not said a word about it. Neither has the press release said anything about it. So would one assume that this move of Qatar to invest $10 billion would reduce their support for the radicals? Because after all, it is their money coming in. Let's say if it is invested in a state like Kashmir, then if there is increased terrorism, then that's going to adversely hurt their investment. Is that what it is? I don't know. And I have a feeling that these are pros and cons to taking investment from Qatar. I mean, having been humiliated in the world stage for apologizing for what Nupur Sharma said and then hiding her from public limelight, I don't know why India feels it important that they should get 10 billion investment from Qatar. I have a feeling it is mainly to deter Qatar from also funding the other side. But knowing Qatar are a shrewd set of businessmen, cunning to the core, and they will do both sides. They'll never want peace, but they will want to try and keep their interests. And I am hoping that there is something, I'm hoping that India doesn't fall for this, especially that LNG agreement for 20 years. I have a feeling that might get revoked. I don't know what clause India would use to revoke it. Certainly, there are things that are happening with US, and US desperately needs to square the balance sheet with India. So they will insist on India taking natural gas as well as crude. I know some things are happening. I will hold till a couple of weeks before I give you all the names and other information. And let's wait and see what happens. But certainly the writing is on the wall. I told you about Qatra for Qatar, right? I think yesterday I came out with that program. You can tell, you can watch that and to understand all the other undercurrents there. Next question. Thank you, 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝐻 FC. Companies want good talent irrespective of country or ethnicity and low taxes and easy labor visa regime. Why can't Andaman be that? Andaman has been building like crazy in the last few years. In fact, I'm told it's a great place for vacation now. It's not very expensive to vacation if you are, from anywhere in India. There are lots of flights now to Port Blair. Do consider going to vacation in Andaman. I've heard very, very good things about the place. Next one, Jai Sree Iyer 𝗤𝗏𝗍. Jai Sree Ram to you also. Asha Kadaba, I don't know. I'm sure I'm butchering the name. Thank you so much, and that's all I have for today. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.